In a quiet countryside, surrounded by green fields and tall trees, stood a small boarding school. Every day, before the sun even peeked over the horizon, the children there were already awake. Their chores were simple but constant: sweeping classrooms, carrying firewood, fetching water from the well, and tending to the small garden. After their work was done, they would sit with their teacher to learn. Life was disciplined, simple, but filled with lessons. Among these children was a boy named Eli. He had a bright, warm smile, a kind heart, and the gentlest manners. Everyone liked him, but Eli had a secret struggle that shadowed his everyday. No matter how hard he tried, the letters seemed to dance and blur before his eyes. Words would slip right out of his memory as soon as he learned them. Lessons that other children mastered in a single day took him weeks of frustrating effort. Each morning, as the teacher wrote on the board, Eli would squint, trying his best to copy the letters. But his hand would shake, and the characters would come out crooked and wrong. Often, he'd forget everything by the very next day. Slowly but surely, he began to fall far behind the rest of the class. Eli's teacher was a patient and kind man. He would often sit with Eli after everyone else had gone to play, repeating each letter slowly and encouragingly. "Try again, Eli," he'd say. "Don't worry, just take your time." But despite the extra help, Eli still struggled. A heavy frustration began to build inside his young heart. He'd bury his face in his hands, whispering to himself, Why can't I learn like everyone else?" The other children started to notice. At first, it was just quiet giggles, but soon, the teasing became open and cruel. "You're so slow," they'd chant. "You can't learn anything. You'll always be left behind." Their words stung like sharp stones hitting his heart. Eli tried to pretend he didn't care, but inside, he felt small, helpless, and deeply ashamed. Months turned into a year. The gap between Eli and his classmates grew wider and wider. While they moved on to the next class, learning new and exciting things, Eli remained where he was, still wrestling with the same simple lessons. His former classmates grew older, more confident, but Eli felt stuck. Every night, he'd lie in his bed and ask himself the same painful question: will I ever learn anything? One evening, after another long, draining day of trying and failing, the teacher called Eli aside. His voice was gentle, but his words were firm and final. "Eli," he began, "I've tried everything I know to help you. But maybe studies are just not your strength. Perhaps it is time for you to go home." The world seemed to collapse around Eli. His eyes filled with tears, but he fought them back, refusing to cry in front of his teacher. He simply nodded quietly, packed his small bag with his few belongings, and walked out of the school gates. Each step felt heavier than the last, a crushing weight of failure on his small shoulders. In the courtyard, the other children watched him leave. Some whispered, others laughed, but Eli just kept walking, his heart hollow with defeat. On his long journey home, he passed by the old village well and sat down on its edge to rest. As his gaze drifted, he noticed something strange. The hard stones around the well's rim were deeply carved with smooth grooves, as if someone had meticulously cut into them. Curious, he spotted an elderly woman nearby. "Grandmother," he asked, "who carved these beautiful marks into the stone?" The woman smiled a kind, knowing smile and pointed to the thin, worn rope hanging from the well. "No one carved them, my child," she said. "That rope did." Eli was stunned. This soft rope made marks on these hard stones. The woman nodded. "Yes, every single day, for years and years. The rope rubbed against the stone in the exact same spot. Not once, not twice, but hundreds of times, thousands of times. Slowly, so slowly, you could never see it happen. The rope left its deep marks. That, my child, is the power of consistent, patient effort." Eli stared at the rope, then at the deep grooves in the stone. A tiny spark flickered to life inside his heart. A new thought took root in his mind. If a soft, flimsy rope could shape a hard, unyielding stone, then maybe, just maybe, he could shape his own mind too. Maybe he wasn't stupid. Maybe he just needed more time, more effort, more patience. With that realization, his heart began to beat with a new and powerful hope. That night, Eli lay awake under the vast, starry sky. He thought about the teasing, the failures, and his teacher's final words. And then, he thought about the rope and the stone. He sat up, his mind made up, and whispered a promise to himself. I will not give up. I will try again, no matter how long it takes. With this newfound resolve, he got up before sunrise the very next morning and walked all the way back to the school. The teacher was surprised, to say the least, to see him standing at the gate. Eli, you came back? Eli looked his teacher straight in the eye, his voice firm and clear. Please, sir, teach me again. I will work harder than ever before. I promise I will not give up. The teacher saw a new fire in the boy, a sigh of fierce determination he had never seen there before. He saw not a defeated child, but a resilient spirit. He nodded slowly. All right, Eli, let's begin again. From that day forward, Eli became the most hard-working student the school had ever known. He woke up earlier than everyone else. He practiced the letters over and over and over again. When he forgot something, he didn't get frustrated. He simply started again. When he made mistakes, he corrected them and learned from them. He still did his chores, carrying firewood and tending the garden, but now he studied with all his heart. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, things began to change. The letters that once danced and confused him now started to make sense. He read a word, then a full sentence. Before he knew it, he was reading an entire paragraph. The children who once laughed at him now watched in silent amazement. His dedication was impossible to ignore. Some of them even started to help him, quizzing him on his lessons. Others simply admired him from a distance. Eli was no longer known as the slow boy. He was the boy who never gave up. Year space. Eli continued to grow in knowledge, in confidence, and in courage. He didn't just catch up to his peers, he surpassed them, becoming one of the brightest students in the school. He wrote beautifully. His understanding of complex subjects was deep, and he learned faster than many others. His teacher would often look at him with pride and say, Eli is living proof that hard work can change your destiny. Eventually, Eli grew up to be a wise and respected young man. He began writing books filled with knowledge, wonderful stories, and profound wisdom. People from distant lands traveled to read his work and to meet the man who was once the boy who could unlearn, but who rose higher than anyone ever expected. To everyone he met, Eli shared the simple lesson that had changed his life. The lesson of the rope and the stone, and until his very last day, he repeated the truth he had learned at the old village well. Nothing in this world is impossible with patience and consistent effort. Even the smallest step, repeated every single day, has the power to change your life completely. So, remember this story. Remember that if a soft rope can cut through hard stone, just imagine what your determined heart can achieve. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that can help you on your journey. See you next time.